Everyone loves a great closer entrance. Mariano Rivera in New York with Enter Sandman, Trevor Hoffman with Hell's Bells, Jordan Romano in Toronto using Tsunami. But the one that's most popular is easily Mets closer Edwin Diaz using Narco by Blaster Jackson Timmy Trumpet, which we can't actually play because copyright, so no full clips today, unfortunately. But you know it. It's the one with the trumpets. Like, there's a trumpet in the thumbnail here on this very video. Diaz quickly became a viral sensation with his electric entrance. Narco has inspired t-shirts, hats, sweatshirts, and even a bobblehead that plays the song. It started a TikTok trend of people walking out to Narco for different activities. Timmy Trumpet even went to New York to play live for Diaz in August. The story of Narco actually goes hand in hand with the story of Edwin Diaz, so they need to be told in tandem with each other. And I can't wait to tell you all about it. But before I do that, my name is Jordan. If you like what you see here today, you're more than encouraged to like, subscribe, buy our clothes, sign up for a lifetime supply of cupcakes, all that good stuff. Okay, back to Edwin Diaz. The story of Edwin Diaz adopting Narco dates all the way back to 2016, when he first broke into the big leagues. Trust me when I say, a little history lesson on Diaz is important to why the Narco trend is much more impactful than just a sweet dubstep bass line. Diaz made waves during his rookie season with 18 saves, 88 strikeouts, and a 2.79 ERA at just 22 years old. He kept soaring in the 2017 World Baseball Classic with an electric performance in Puerto Rico's semifinal game.
And Edwin Diaz looks like he's ready to close out a World Series game.
The 2017 MLB season was another good year for Diaz, totaling 34 saves and 89 strikeouts, but something was missing. As you may or may not have figured out, what was missing was a crazy piece of entrance music to come running out to. The Seattle Mariner was one of the most exciting pitchers to watch, but his entrance just wasn't matching that. Diaz was sporting Def Leppard's Pour Some Sugar on Me due to his nickname of Sugar in 2016. Great song, but it wasn't a great fit for the flamethrower. In 2017, he tried out a more upbeat tune, and watch out for this. That still didn't work. Seattle's Vice President Greg Green took it upon himself the following offseason to find a song for Diaz. He looked at tracks by Steve Aoki, Party Favor, and Dylan Francis, but the search was over as soon as he heard Narco. Green said it felt like a bullfight when he heard it. Diaz agreed. He loved the trumpets. It was settled. Diaz would enter the 2018 season with Narco. Now, we can't say for sure it was the new walkout song, but we can at least call it a coincidence. Diaz posted his best season to date, making his first All-Star game, earning a league-leading 57 saves, 124 Ks, and a loud 1.96 ERA. It's safe to say Diaz was feeling the power of Timmy Trumpets in Seattle.
The power within, the power within, the power within.
Then everything changed. Edwin Diaz was traded to the New York Mets. Let's just say Diaz didn't make a good impression during his first season in the Big Apple.
Diaz, don't even fool around here. You give up a home run, and this guy's killed the Mets. He has absolutely killed them. Unbelievable!
His 5.59 ERA in 2019 forced Mets fans to begin calling him Ed Lose Diaz. Don't you just love wordplay? Edwin probably didn't, at least not here. But with that failure, it was time for another change. The closer had left everything behind in Seattle, including his entrance song. Diaz had switched his song to Noi e Lamente by Mikey Woods for that 2019 season. Being the worst year of his career, Edwin's wife, Nashley, suggested changing it back to Narco. She said maybe the trumpets would help him out in New York. He took her advice in 2020 and saw improvements in his game. Again, not saying it's the song, but it might be the song. In the shortened COVID season, he threw 50 strikeouts and held a 1.75 ERA. Diaz was back. Heading into 2021, he decided to keep his song Narco. This brought him another successful season with 32 saves and 89 strikeouts. Now in 2022, Diaz is continuing to use the power of Timmy Trumpets. It's his best season yet, holding an even 1.5 ERA with 102 strikeouts and 29 saves, along with his second All-Star appearance. It really does just help the whole aesthetic that Edwin Diaz is really freaking good at throwing baseballs. A fastball that can reach 103, a slider faster than some other guys' fastballs. He's flirted with striking out 50% of the batters he's faced this season, which no one has ever accomplished. So not only is Narco cool, it probably means the New York Mets are about to win a baseball game on the back of Edwin Diaz. It's of course in this really special 2022 season that helped Diaz's entrance with Narco get popular. But why now? Diaz has used this song for years. Well, local fans and media have always been on the Narco train. The Mariners crowd loved the atmosphere when Diaz entered the game. It became iconic among Mets fans when they heard it for the first time in person in 2021. The difference is the newfound power of everyone in the world getting the chance to experience it the way those people in the know always had. It's thanks to SNY director John DeMarsico for showing Diaz's entrance on the Mets broadcast for the first time on August 11th. We've all seen this video. It's eclipsed over 9 million views on Twitter alone and millions more across every social media platform. Usually, a broadcast will go to commercial break during a pitching change or in between innings. You know, corporate sponsorships and advertising and all.
Chicken parm, you taste so good.
DeMarsico instead wanted to create a movie out of the entrance. You can completely see that influence in how the camera pans and the screen changes in sync with Diaz coming. Following Diaz out of the bullpen, the fans playing the imaginary trumpet, Mr. and Mrs. Met on top of the dugout, the TV executives realized what everyone in the stands did, that this was a sensational experience and a part of the atmosphere that needed to be captured. It's time to sound the trumpets, Mets play-by-play man Gary Cohen says to begin the show. It was the first time fans outside of Citi Field, or whatever venues Blaster Jacks has ever performed in, got to experience Narco, and man does it just get you hyped up. Timmy Trumpet eventually came to Citi Field to play Narco live as Edwin Diaz entered a game on August 31st. You want to know how much everyone loved that? 10.3 million views kind of loving that. And exactly as he should have that night, Diaz set down the LA Dodgers 1-2-3 for a save. Timmy Trumpet said that all of this made him a Met fan for life.
Even though this is my first baseball game here tonight, I can tell you I'm officially a Mets fan for life.
He's also said that he looks forward to Edwin Diaz coming in to pitch at Citi Field in the World Series while Narco blasts on the speakers right before the Mets earn that trophy. Timmy Trumpet is from Australia. He had never seen a baseball game until all of this started to happen. And then, all of a sudden, he's out here beating his chest, prophesizing a Mets win with Diaz at the center. And that right there shows the power this story had and the power of baseball itself. All it takes is something like this to make someone a baseball fan, and that's perfect in our book. Narco will forever be tied to Diaz. The two members of Blaster Jacks and Timmy Trumpet said it themselves that Diaz should be the official user of the song. Take that, William Contreras.
Got him!
So, do we have Timmy Trumpet, the Mariners, Diaz's wife, or DeMarsico to thank for opening the world to Narco? Maybe a little bit of all of them. We don't know if he'll finish the season striking out half the hitters he faces. We don't know if he'll come out to Narco in the World Series. We don't know if he'll be in that championship-winning dogpile. We'll give you an update in the comments if he does, but what we do know is that Edwin Diaz and Narco are changing baseball, maybe even the world too.